Hello everyone, it's Rita here, and I'm here to share a flip through of my journal, which is the 1930s Dust Bowl memories, I guess. I didn't ever come up with a real good name for it. So this is the front cover, and this was all done with a slow stitch that I did, and I attached this part of the cover to a Amazon packaging bag that was the craft color. And then this is the back side, and it has, well, I guess I should take the cover off. So I put a button here, and I just looped it over with a tie for the closure, like this. And you may not even need a closure. Once it gets settled, it won't be as puffy. Anyway, this is the back, and it has the buttons there and buttons down the side, and just, you know, random stitching wherever I wanted to stitch. There's 3 pennies down here at the bottom. They're all 1970s, 75, 77, and 72, I believe. And I couldn't find anything much older than that unless I went out and ordered them online, I guess. Anyway, so let's get started. There is 64 pages, that's both sides, and the book is 9 1/4 high by 6 inches wide, and it's one signature. So here in this front pocket, I have this little notebook that we made. I think it's called a Zine. And I just put some little random things inside here in the pockets. Little pieces of paper to write notes on. There's some papers in here that I wrote notes on. I named the lady, which is in the front of this journal, I assumed. And I made her name Anne. And her date of birth was 11/7/07 in Moore, Oklahoma. And then on here I wrote her mom and dad got married 1887, Chicago, Illinois. You guys can change it to whatever you want. You could pull it out and change those notes if you want. I didn't put anything up in here. This one has a little journal card in there, little tag. But yeah, there's one space open. Here is a little image that I did on one of these tag things that you get at the dollar store. And I thought that was just a cute little guy, so I put him in there. Maybe he's a child that didn't make the trip. I don't know. Up here is a pocket for a journal card. I didn't put any in. I still need to print something out and make a nice little journal card for there. Here is a packet that we made with Roxy's Creation. This is glued down. It's a belly band, and then this opens up. And on the back of this is a place to journal. And then we have a journal card here that we made, and you can journal on the back of that. And this is just the kind of holder thing to hold it all together. So put that back in there, and you can, and it may be more difficult than I thought. Whoops. I'm gonna have to put that back in later. Okay. Back here I have a little pocket. This was from Crafty Cat USA, and she has these pockets on a digital, and then I just cut the pocket part, and then I added it back on up at the top of the card, and then I was able to make a little journal card for inside there. And that's their I would say their vehicle that they were using to travel from Oklahoma to California. And I just put this paper clip to hold this, to weight it down. And then here is a photo of them on the road. There was camps, and they all lived in little camps on the way, or maybe that's what they had when they got to California. I don't know. This is a little flyer from 1936. And I couldn't print the whole thing. I think it's McGain's or McGann's. Anyway, a hot roast beef sandwich was 25 cents. Raisin bran, 2 loaves for 25 cents. Canadian bacon, 45 cents. It's just great to see, you know, the prices back in those days. Prices. I was reading somewhere that the prices back then would equal today money would be $19.95 for every dollar that they had back then. That's pretty amazing. This is another little journal card I made, and put that little Oklahoma license plate on it that I had downloaded. And this is a journaling spot, and you could journal on the back of this. This is an altar paper clip up here. Here is a couple of the ants that were traveling with them, and here is a little journal card in there, and that's kind of just on the edge here, and you could put something back there. I didn't put anything, but you could. Then we got journaling space. This is old check, and this was June 12th, 1936. I just kept finding things from 1936. This was Jody sent me in a Happy Mail. And then back here, I just assume that these are the guys, the bankers, the guys that owned all these properties when they made everybody leave. It wasn't necessarily their fault. It was, the ground was plowed and plowed and plowed, and then there was nothing on the ground to stop the wind from blowing the dirt, and it was just left with the dirt. And they had a drought too, and so nothing was growing as well. So that everybody had to leave because there was nothing for them there. And I don't know, I can't remember why these guys mowed down their houses as well, but to get them off the land, I guess, because you know, the people weren't paying rent like they should with the crop sharing. This is a echo die that I did with a leaf, and I ran it through my die cut machine. It's not the best of a echo page, but I put it in there. I liked it. More journaling. Here is just a little tag. You know, maybe the things that they would have used, their flour, Pillsbury, needle book that everyone had back in the day. This is an original. Whoops, that one's coming out. I don't know if I should leave it out. This is original needle book, and you can see some is missing. I've had this in my little sewing collection for a while. And I just took this little piece of cross-stitch fabric, and I wrote, "Home is where the heart is." It's not very it's not very good stitching. I was in a hurry. I just wanted to get it on there. These are vintage buttons. These are glass. And then this is a pattern, a section of a pattern from 1930s, late 30s though. But maybe something that she would have wanted to make in the future when she got settled. And she kept a piece of lace, and she kept some pieces of fabric for her deciding what she's going to make that dress, make that blouse out of. Little tab here. This is just a blank page here. Journaling. This is vintage school paper. I don't know how old it is. Probably from the 50s. This is just out of an art book I had. And then somebody had already started to draw in these lavender flowers, so I just left it that way, and I felt like if you want to, you could draw in some more color if you want. Journaling here. This is the center page, and this is all the family that she left home, or like her grandparents and her, I would say this is her and her mom. Maybe this is a brother. I'm not sure. Anyway, it's just my made-up story. Then there's a little journal card or a tag that sits in there. And then over here is a little set of suitcases that they would have had to travel with, and then just a little song on that page there. Just a little place to journal. And then up here, she is on a tag, so you can journal on the back of her. And you could put your own photograph in there if you'd like. If you have a family member that you wanted to put in this part. The rest of them are all glued down. Okay, other side of that flower page. Here is just a little side pocket, and then in here I just put blank paper that you can journal on. You might want to use a darker pen, but you could journal on it. And that just slides into this little pocket. And I just punched these holes, and I put a piece of paper behind them just to give it a little extra. This side is another one of those pockets. I'm not going to pull it out this time. I'll just pull out the tag behind it. I'm thinking these were friends of the family who traveled with them. This is the children and mom and dad up here. Here is a little envelope, and I've just put a little journal card in there that says Jello Vintage. And this is the little notebooks we made. I just coffee dyed it. I put the stencil, Tim Holtz stencil, so it looks like rings of coffee. And then I just put these up here thinking gas was probably, well, I know it wasn't even 45 cents because when I was a kid, when I was a teenager, gas was 25 cents a gallon. So I don't know what was 45. But anyway, I like that in the ticket there. And then I just put some flowers and things on each of these pages for journaling. Okay, and then more journaling spot. Here's a over the page book, and I just put a telegram in there. It doesn't really go with the telegram with the era, but you know, they would have gotten telegrams. That was probably a good way to contact people. They would have had telephones, but not at the camps. This little, whoop, it glued through the holes. I'm gonna have to fix that. This little card here I made, I had this came out of a article on the internet, and it said Oklahoma 1930s, the Dust Bowl, an American tragedy. And then Roosevelt was president during that time. This is from my own newspaper that I made a digital with that. And then this was a picture of the dust storm, a background of the dust that's coming through. And I just thought it was cute. I put the little typewriter like if somebody was writing the article. I'm going to figure out how to... just have to glue it down, I guess. It's very brittle, this paper. 1936 on that side, too. This was a little pocket that I made. Journal card, thinking this is another relative, maybe on Dad's side. I'm not sure. Inside here opens up, and you have all this journaling space in here. And this was a fun little pocket to make. This is just a little journal card I put back here. Oops. And then this one goes into this slot. You can actually just set it like that if you'd like. You don't have to put it all the way in. And then this one is just a pocket I made. This is an old recipe. This is ham and noodles, and this is my grandmother's recipe. Oh, I don't think I have all of it on here, but you can figure it out if you want to make it. But this would have been from the 30s. My dad was born in 1927, and I'm sure that this probably came along about that time. Processed cheese, which we call Velveeta these days. Yeah, so... that's that. And then I have a couple little cards here I made not too long ago. Now this here was a ration card thing I got from Kathy. It's a digital, and it's in our Facebook group, Junk Journal in a Day, in the files, and you can download it if you want. This was not necessarily during the 30s, because obviously our war rations didn't come out until the 40s, but these people would have lived through that too. Not only the Dust Bowl, but they would have lived through World War II. And, you know, so many changes in their lives. I can't even think how myself or my children would have ever been able to struggle through all these hardships. But I guess you do what you do, right? What you know. This is a card, journal card, or a pocket that I made, and this one I wanted to resemble things that she might have carried with her, like she might have carried a plate from her mom's china, or her china when she got married. I don't know, a button, a fancy button, and I'm thinking this is her mom doing laundry. And then this was a card that was sent to me by Valerie, and I thought it looked really pretty in this part. And here's another recipe. This is chocolate peanut butter cookies. This is also from my grandmother. I don't think I have the whole recipe on here, but anyway, this one here is probably much newer. I mean, maybe the fifth. My mom made these cookies before we went to school, because she didn't have any cookies to put in our lunch, and she would stand at the stove. These are stove cookies, not baked. You don't bake them. And she would stand there and make these in the morning, and they would harden almost immediately and put them in our lunch. I remember her doing that. So that's an old recipe. Here is another one of Crafty Cat's pockets that I just used for a couple little journal cards, tags in there. And then here is the end. There's also a pocket here for a journal card. Here is Route 66 is when they came, left Oklahoma. And then there was other New Mexico and maybe not New Mexico, Kansas and Colorado and a lot of other places that people had to leave too. But from Oklahoma out to Barstow, California, which, and I mean, San Bernardino was the last. Well, it wasn't the last. It went all the way out to the Pacific Ocean, but San Bernardino is over the mountains. So these people had to go over this mountain area. Kingman, that's where the mountains in Arizona, I just lost Flagstaff area. I mean, I've been over those mountains in the car, and it was rough, especially in the summertime, because you know we didn't have air conditioning in the car, and it would be 110 degrees in Needles, or 120 degrees that they had to travel through. This is a license plate that I made from 1936, Oklahoma, and this was fun. I got this from Ann Keelan, I think is their last name. I'm not sure, but I have, if you go back and watch this video making this, her link is below. And then I have this very old postcard. This is Mont Baldy. This is where I could see out of from my house. This was when I lived in California. This was the site that I had. These are all the orange groves, and I'm sure that when people came across this mountain into San Bernardino, this is the valley, that they were in total amazement, because that's the way it looked. And as I grew up, everywhere was orange groves. Everywhere was orange groves. And then now they're all gone. All gone. But this is an original postcard. Los Angeles, California, Mont Baldy. So we used to go up there and play in the snow, and I think we snow skied there too. I'm not sure. So this journal actually has been spoken for. And unless she changes her mind, I will put it up for sale. And I'm not going to put it up for sale on Big Cartel. They have actually raised their prices for listing, and it's not a bad price. I'm not saying that, because I think Cartel is probably the best priced place to list your items. But it's too much for me to pay per month for one journal a month, because that's about all I get done. So what I will do is if you're interested in it, just email me, tell me you want it. I will send invoice via PayPal, and then you can just pay me through PayPal. I still get charged a little bit on PayPal, but there's no monthly charge. So I hope you guys enjoyed this series. I did. I love this book. I don't know. I just like that there's a story behind it. In fact, I was thinking about doing another journal. I don't know when, but it would be about Peacock Alley. And Peacock Alley is where I live now in Georgia. And it runs, about 90 miles, I guess, from the Tennessee border through the north part of Georgia. And it was what started the carpet industry here in Georgia, where all of the major carpets come from, Shaw Carpet and Mohawk and all those. And before, I didn't know that when I moved here, that this was that kind of place, But I don't want to tell you too much about Peacock Alley until I get some thoughts behind what I'm going to do. But, I mean, peacocks, I think that would be a really pretty journal. So, thank you for watching. I'm sorry it took so long. I just enjoyed this so much. It's like telling that story of their lives. So, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.